The politics of Brazil take place in a framework of a federal presidential representative democratic republic, whereby the president is both head of state and head of government, and of a multi-party system. The political and administrative organization of Brazil comprises the federal government, the 26 states and a federal district, and the municipalities. The federal government exercises control over the central government and is divided into three independent branches: executive, legislative and judicial. Executive power is exercised by the president, advised by a cabinet. Legislative power is vested upon the National Congress, a two-chamber legislature comprising the Federal Senate and the Chamber of Deputies. Judicial power is exercised by the judiciary, consisting of the Supreme Federal Court, the Superior Court of Justice and other superior courts, the National Justice Council and the regional federal courts. The states are autonomous sub-national entities with their own governments that, together with the other federal units, form the Federative Republic of Brazil. Currently, Brazil is divided politically and administratively into 27 federal units, being 26 states and one federal district. The executive power is exercised by a governor elected to a 4-year term. The judiciary is exercised by courts of first and second instance addressing the common justice. Each state has a unicameral legislature with deputies who vote on state laws. The Constitution of Brazil knows also two elements of direct democracy, stated in Article 14. The legislative assemblies supervise the activities of the executive power of the states and municipalities. The municipalities are minor federal units of the Federative Republic of Brazil. Each municipality has an autonomous local government, comprising a mayor, directly elected by the people to a 4-year term, and a legislative body, also directly elected by the people. Due to a mix of proportional voting, the lack of election threshold and the cultural aspects of Latin American coronelismo, party politics in Brazil tends to be highly fragmented. The Economist Intelligence Unit's Democracy Index rated Brazil as a flawed democracy in 2019 and 2020. Brazil has had 7 constitutions. According to sociologist Marcelo Ridenti, Brazilian politics is divided between internationalist liberals and statist nationalists. The first group consists of politicians arguing that internationalization of the economy is essential for the development of the country, while the latter rely on interventionism and protection of state enterprises. According to Ridenti, who cites the Fernando Henrique Cardoso administration as an example of the first group and the Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva administration as an example of the second. We have it cyclically. Lula's Workers' Party tended to the statist nationalist side, although there are privatizing forces within his party and government, while Cardoso's Social Democratic Party tended to favor the international private market side by taking neoliberal policies. Lula compares himself with Getulio Vargas, Juscelino Kubitschek and João Goulart, presidents seen as statist nationalists. As of May 2017, 16,668,589 Brazilians were affiliated with a political party. The largest parties are MDB. In 2020, the scenario is that the country has more than 40 active political parties, and only one of them defines itself as a right-wing party, with a clear political imbalance. The country has several far-left parties like PSOL, PCO, PSTU, PCB, PC2B, left parties like PT, PSB, PDT, PV, Read and Solidaridade, and center-left like PSDB, DEM, PMN and Cidadania. 10 parties declare themselves as the center: MDB, PL, PSD, PTC, DC, PROS, Avante, Patriota, Podemos and PMB. 5 parties declare themselves as center-right: PTB, Progressistas, PSC, PRTB and Republicanos. The only party that claims to be purely liberal, without further consideration, is Novo. When asked about their ideological spectrum, Brazilian parties tend to give obtuse and non-conclusive answers on the subject. Brazil is a federal presidential constitutional republic, based on representative democracy. The federal government has 3 independent branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. Executive power is exercised by the executive branch, headed by the president, advised by a cabinet. The president is both the head of state and the head of government. Legislative power is vested upon the National Congress, a two-chamber legislature comprising the Federal Senate and the Chamber of Deputies. Judicial power is exercised by the judiciary, consisting of the Supreme Federal Court, the Superior Court of Justice and other superior courts, the National Justice Council and the regional federal courts. The 26 Brazilian states are semi-autonomous self-governing entities organized with complete administration branches, relative financial independence and their own set of symbols. Similar